Here with me now is Democratic Congressman Greg Stanton of Arizona. With him is Greg Fraley, who's going to be Stanton's guest at tomorrow's speech. Greg is the COO of an aluminum manufacturer in Arizona. So, Congressman, the president spoke Friday about the U.S. Supreme Court decision ruling against his sweeping tariff regime, and he's been furiously firing off Truth Social posts all weekend. He wrote this morning, quote, "As president, I do not have to go back to Congress to get approval of tariffs. It has already been gotten in many forms a long time ago. They were also just reaffirmed by the ridiculous and poorly crafted Supreme Court decision." What do you make of the way he's responded to the Supreme Court's ruling?
He's 100% wrong. His tariffs were illegal from day one. We all knew that from day one. A tariff is a tax, and a tax can only be put in place by the United States Congress. The Supreme Court, by a 6-3 ruling, made that absolutely clear. And the president, instead of doing what a president should do, which is listen to the Supreme Court and follow the order, did exactly the opposite. He thinks that he can issue these tariffs unilaterally without regard to Congress. And so what he's trying to do is issue these tariffs illegally through another legal justification. He's wrong on that as well. If he wants these tariffs, the Republicans are in charge of the House. Come to Congress and make that request. Otherwise, they are illegal.
Yeah, I don't think there are other votes for the tariffs, especially with Speaker Johnson's one-vote majority. Greg, your company, FALCO, gets aluminum from suppliers in Los Angeles, which primarily imported from Canada, as I understand it. What has been the impact of the tariffs for your business?
Well, the impact is my cost for the raw material aluminum that I use has jumped 72% in the last 12 months. That's all really driven by the tariff costs.
Have you had to lay people off or raise your prices?
I have not had to lay people off. I just haven't been rehiring when I've lost employees through attrition, and has prevented me from being able to expand the business, as the aircraft manufacturers that I supply have been requesting us to hire up. But we haven't been able to, just because I don't have the cash flow that allows me to be able to do that.
And you're a lifelong Republican, as I understand it, and voted for Trump in 2024. Were you expecting this? I mean, he did say he liked tariffs.
Yeah, but I didn't expect to see this kind of a spike in increases in the tariffs. The tariffs hit the aluminum markets that drive that price up so much, makes it difficult to get in the United States to remelt it and allow us to make the aircraft products that we make for all the major aircraft manufacturers here in the United States.
Congressman, the court did not come up with any sort of conclusion as to what will happen to the billions of dollars that the federal government collected from the tariffs. Speaker Johnson just told CNN he does not think that the government should pay back those costs. How do you think it should be decided?
I can't believe the Speaker takes that position. If you have illegally put tariffs in place, that means the resources from those tariffs have been illegally received by the government. They belong to the people of the United States of America, and we need to push forward right now to making sure that those dollars get back to our fellow Americans as soon as possible, and that the biggest businesses in America with the highest priced lawyers don't get to the front of the line. We need to make sure that the American people and small and locally owned business have the fair opportunity to get their resources without having to hire a bunch of lawyers. That's the right approach. Now, it's going to be a mess, but it's not a mess of our making. It's a mess of Donald Trump's making, because he put into place these illegal tariffs.
Greg, how much approximately, is it in the hundreds of thousands, in the millions of dollars that you think you've paid in tariffs?
Well, the tariff cost is reflected just in general metal pricing. Mm-hmm. I would say we took a 7-figure hit last year to our bottom line because of the impact tariffs had.
So in the millions, what do you think should happen to that money? I'm just going to make up a number. Let's say it's $7 million.
Well, I've got to let the politicians handle that one, because I fall under. Let's see, I fall under the 232 tariffs. Mm-hmm. I don't fall under the IEEPA. So the politicians will have to handle that. That's kind of outside my
just to be clear,
knowledge.
He has a 50% tariff. Plus, now they're adding on to it this new tariff under Section 122.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
His tariff rates are going up massively in an industry in which he can only buy from Canada. He doesn't have the ability to buy from American sources. So this tariff under Section 232 is hitting an American company, not able to grow employment, yet he's not able to buy from American sources. It is completely self-defeating.
And Greg, as the congressman just intimated, the president says he's going to use Section 122 to impose a global tariff of 15%. What do you expect the impacts of that will be?
I will see a significant jump in the cost of aluminum coming in the United States, and that will be a very negative impact to companies like mine. Small businesses are the ones that are really struggling. We can't absorb it like the large corporations can. What doesn't make sense to me, Jake, is that we want to say made in America, yet we're wanting to tariff the raw materials to help me make it in America.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
And you can't get those raw materials here in the United States?
That's correct.
All right, Democratic Congressman Greg Stanton from Arizona, and Greg Fraley, who's the COO of FALCO. Thank you so much. Appreciate both of you.